Welcome to episode 1 of the Persona Power podcast. I'm Mary Miner. I'm a music artist, performer, songwriter, music producer, and radio host.
It's a fantastic list.
Thank you.
And I'm Meg Cox. I am a sustainable fashion stylist, owner of styling business Clothes Mod. What else I do? Event organizer.
Yep.
I'm also a mental health support worker too. Yeah.
I'm also an event organizer and
Yeah,
event
you are.
host.
Should we just sit here and keep adding?
Yeah, we're all about girl power, so we keep adding to our CVs. But no, we are here anyway to talk about today the power of presence. So, what does the power of presence mean to you? Does that even make sense as a term?
Power of presence. I think you in yourself, you have a presence,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's how you feel in yourself, how you are within yourself that people can either relate to, they can join onto that presence, they can celebrate it, but also it can be a challenge sometimes for people to locate that presence, locate that confidence, and identify also what that means to them. And I think appearance, your outfits, the colours, but also exuding that confidence in a certain way. So from like me as a stylist, I like to help people find what style means to them, help them find what colours, allow them to find that confidence, find that presence, find that power.
Yeah. For me, the word presence suggests energy. And my presence is like how I'm feeling energetically and what I can bring into a room. So it's like when certain people walk into the room, you sense them, you feel their presence. People can really dramatically shift the energy in a room by the kind of presence that they bring. And if they come in with confidence, they walk in with a smile on their face or a spring in their step or a strut, it changes the atmosphere and your eyes are drawn towards those people. And it doesn't even always matter what they're wearing, but it's how they're selling who they are. The way that fits with clothing is how clothing can kind of shift your sense of identity. When you put something on, like I've today put on this fabulous fairy hood, which my friend, big up to my friend who runs a business called Hoodlum, she hand makes these hoods. So I've got a few of these hoods, and when I put them on, it gives me a sense of presence because it makes me feel like I'm actually bigger. It's like when you wear a big hat as well.
You're taking up more space.
So that is one way that clothing can kind of affect your sense of presence. So that's what presence means to me as a performer.
It's crazy how people can make such difference to the environment just through their confidence. It's almost like some people, I suppose, refer it to like auras and their personalities, and to be able to like nurture your own persona, nurture your own personality, nurture your confidence. I think that's so powerful.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It is powerful. And one of the topics that we're really keen on exploring in this podcast is mental health and well-being and how we can really like take care of ourselves. And for me, that is really closely linked to my sense of presence. When I step out on stage, I have to be feeling good about myself. So from my perspective as a singer as well, I have to look after my body because that is my instrument. So when I step onto the stage and I need to project my voice, I need to make sure I'm in really, really good health. And I need to be looking after myself because as long as I'm looking after myself, taking care of my health, taking care of my well-being, it makes me feel more confident because I've made myself feel loved and I've made myself feel special. So that gives me that extra little sense of like, radiance when I step into a room and when I step onto a stage.
It is. Like, our body is our vessel, isn't it?
Exactly.
So yeah, mental health and well-being is something that is something that we've totally bonded over, isn't
Yeah.
it? And it's so tightly linked to each other, the confidence and feeling good in yourself, but alongside the mental health and well-being, it is all linked. And people can also tell when you're feeling really, really, really good in yourself in comparison to when you're not. Even if you don't say anything, even if you're trying to hide it. And I think clothing is, I always say it, clothing is a tool. And if we can use that to encourage positive mental health, but also use it to benefit body positivity as well.
Yeah.
And different styles, different fits will fit different bodies.
Yeah.
And what I always say to my clients when they're like, oh, this doesn't fit, or oh, this doesn't fit, and I'm like, it's the clothing's fault. It's not
Yeah.
anything to do with you.
Yeah.
It's just that piece of clothing is not right for you.
Yeah.
So let's go and find some clothes that really, really suit you. And it's about not having that really negative talk about yourself. And I can always go off on tangents.
No, but what you're saying is really valid and really important. And I think zoned out, sorry.
ADHD is
ADHD. We can maybe edit that bit out, or maybe we can keep it in, because actually another thing about us is that we both have ADHD. So we do zone out sometimes. We also do, so I present a weekly show on Ujima Radio Bristol, and Meg comes in once a month, the first Thursday of every month, and we do a little fashion segment on the show. So we've got to know each other really well through doing the radio show.
The amount of times that we've been on the radio, now we've both just gone blank, and we're like, what is even happening here?
And this is a real thing that happens when you have ADHD. I knew exactly what I was going to say. And then, I don't know, it was something about, maybe I sort of tapped into your energy in that moment, because you were like, I went off on a tangent, and then my mind went to where your mind had gone. And then I was like, suddenly my mind was empty, and it was just, that's one of the bizarre things that happened. But let's bring it back to the topic, which is about presence, and how clothing can uplift us and transform us. And sometimes it's like fake it till you make it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So when I was launching one of my previous music projects, I really wasn't feeling that confident at all when I released the first single for the project. It's a track called Monster, Mary in the Mirror. And I just remember on the night before the song was launched, and I was planning a live stream on the day of the launch, and I just remember it was physically painful. I was like doubled up on the sofa, just like unable to move or speak, because I was just like so nervous. I just had invested so much of me into it, and I wasn't feeling that confident at all. However, the next day I just pulled it out the bag. I put on something fabulous. I stood in front of the camera. I got the lighting set up, and I did a live stream. And somehow I managed to transform myself into this really, really confident person. But it came from that inner sense of belief, and that inner sense of I know that I can do this. I know that I'm not that insecure, nervous, anxious person all of the time. I know that I can be more.
That's it. The power of believing in yourself, but also the power of it's a good outfit.
Yeah, because I've been to Camden Market, and bought some fabulous jewellery, and so I had stuff to choose from. Do you know what I mean? That I knew that I was going to be able to put on those things and feel
guaranteed
really good.
Confidence.
Yes, exactly. And I surrounded myself with friends. I invited all my friends.
That's another part of it. Like having good people around you who encourage you, support you, just makes a huge difference.
It's a really good point, actually. Who we surround ourselves with has a massive effect on our confidence levels and how we feel about ourselves. So if we've got people in our lives that are giving us negativity, or even if they don't have to be giving us negativity. But even if we have people in our lives that never encourage us or never tell us that we look good, you know, and never congratulate us when something's good happening, it's about understanding that even though they might not be saying something negative, they might still be giving us negative energy just by their lack of positive energy. And that can actually, we can actually internalize that and feel worse about ourselves. So I think it's about pruning your life, pruning your friend group, you know, not to be brutal to people, but sometimes we have to spend less time with people that make us feel drained and more time around people like your good self who make us feel good.
Absolutely. And also like paying attention to like your gut feeling around people and also how you feel coming away from them.
Yeah.
After, do you feel nurtured? Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel good about yourself? Do you feel positive about the things you're doing? Or do you feel drained, like you said, or do you feel like less of yourself?
Yeah.
And even though they might have been saying some good things, like sometimes, you know, like maybe like jealousy or, you know, when other people are having a bad time, that can also, people can project. And, you know, being aware of that and being aware that, you know, some things you don't need to take personally, some things, you know, it's not
100%.
about you in a kind of a good way. How they're behaving towards you isn't about you. And recognizing that and being able to, you know, pull yourself away from people who do make you feel not as great as you should be feeling.
Yeah.
And also on the flip side of that, understanding when you do need people, when you do need those good people around. I am great at hermiting. I'm great at, I love my own space, I love my own solitude. And sometimes I can find myself just like being a hermit for like days on end. And I'm like, wait a second, I need good people around me. I need my friends. I need, you know, I need to be around people again to like gain that, like be able to have that energy around me. And I think it's finding that balance, isn't it?
Exactly. I was about to say the same thing because it's so important for us to understand who we are on our own, in our own time, making our own decisions, figuring out what we like, what we dislike. And sometimes when you're around people all the time, you don't really get a sense of who you are for yourself. You only get a sense of who you are as in the way other people reflect back to you who you are. So it's really important to have that alone time, I think, to cultivate presence, to cultivate confidence within, you know, your strength of identity. But also we need each other. We need to be around people. We need to have affirming, you know, hugs or eye contact or just people telling us that we're great. And I think it's so important that we should make sure that we tell our friends and the people that we love that they're great.
Absolutely.
And don't starve them of our compliments.
Compliments are great. Are the best.
They're the best. They make us feel wonderful. Also, though, I think it's really important to be able to be honest with people and be willing to receive honesty from our friends. So, for example, if I want to look fabulous for a night out and I'm wearing something and I'm asking someone's opinion, I want their honest opinion. I want to know if they think it flatters me or not. If they think it doesn't flatter me that well, maybe they're right. I don't just want people that just are like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want to be surrounded by people that just say, yeah, you look great, just to make
honest
you
and
feel
transparent
better.
people are great to have around you.
100%, yeah.
They should also be aware of how you are looking in it though. Not like necessarily just the facade of you, but instead like, do you look happy in it?
Yeah.
Because I think everybody has their own opinion on things.
Of course.
Everyone has their own opinion on style. Everybody has their own opinion on colours, on fits of things, on anything, right? But if a person is wearing something and they physically look happy and they are enjoying being in that, you can tell that they feel themselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, you do look great.
Does it make them glow?
Exactly.
Do they look radiant? Is
Yeah.
there other? Edit that.
No edit.
Are their eyes lit up?
Yeah. Exactly.
Because it's about feeding your soul with what you wear as well. It isn't just about the outside opinions. Not that people's opinions can sometimes be important, but they're not the only important thing.
No.
So again, it's about getting a balance with that.
Absolutely. Like, I've got friends who, don't wear bright green velvet jackets and blazers, but I know that if they saw me wearing it and I'm feeling good, they're not going to turn around to me and be like, no, you should be wearing this. I don't like that colour. I don't like this. And that's another thing. Like, having people around you that are aware of, the importance of you feeling good in that. Leave those negative opinions at the door if you're feeling fabulous in it.
I agree. Yeah.
Celebrating each person,
Yeah.
celebrating your friends, celebrating yourself and your individuality is so, so important.
Yeah. But there's other ways, not just in fashion, but there's other ways that I require my friends to be honest with me. And that is that, letting me know if they believe I'm making a bad decision about something, like as in maybe a relationship or
having your friends having your
back.
Having your back.
Yeah.
Having your best, what's the word?
Interests.
There you go. I was like, intentions, but it's not the word. Best interests at heart.
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah. So really, what we wear, how we feel, how well we look after ourselves, and who we surround ourselves with, those are all things that kind of feed into our sense of presence.
And it's our sense of identity.
It
Our
is.
sense of persona.
Very much. Identity. Yeah. And who do we want to create ourselves? How do we want to create ourselves?
What makes us who we are?
Yeah, how do we want to be seen?
What makes us feel us?
What makes us feel?
What makes us individual? You can look at lots of different things for that. Style, your hobbies, what music you like, what films that you like watching. When I start working with my clients, there's a few questions that I like to ask people, and some of them are like, who are your style muses? So that doesn't necessarily need to be like a fashion icon. It could be, somebody in a film. Is it their mum?
Yeah.
Is it their grandma? Is it, their friends? Is it somebody they follow on Instagram?
Yeah.
But then also, if people are like, oh, I don't have anybody like that. Okay, what films do you watch? What do you enjoy watching on the TV? What music do you listen to, and what are they wearing? It's like there's lots of different areas of your personality that you can pull out the things that you resonate with, and then you start to form like your own. It's almost like your own little persona mood board.
Yes. Oh, I've done a few of those. I love doing those. In fact, whenever I start a new project, there's a mood board for it.
Absolutely.
What colours, and it goes deeper than that, because it's also about values. What are my values? What are the deeper things that I care about, and how do I reflect that through my style? So with the fashion thing, it's become all about sustainability. And that is something that I care deeply about, because I want to make a better world for future generations. And I also want to look good.
Oh, yeah.
On a budget.
That's another part of it, isn't it? Like the money side of things.
Yeah.
Like, especially at the moment, cost of living crisis. Some people were feeling poor in general.
Yeah.
And knowing where to put that disposable income, so that then it does still make you feel good, still make you feel like you're, getting that new fresh thing without burning a hole in your pocket and affecting the planet as much as well.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of came about almost naturally for me, but I was you know, figuring out how to do my Instagram page and how to like carve out a unique identity for myself that wasn't just about my music, that was like more about me as a person. And then I met you and we started talking about sustainability and style, and I also have this passion for shopping in charity shops, and it all just kind of started to link together, and it was like, okay, this is something that I can express through my media platforms, you know, that forms a kind of deeper picture of like who I am as a person and what I believe in, what I enjoy as well. And then obviously the mental health stuff, the ADHD. I used to think, you know, am I going to use my platform to talk about ADHD? And then I thought, no, I don't really want to do that because I don't want to make my platform all about my mental health.
Yeah.
But it is something that forms part of who I am, so I don't want to ignore it either. And so that's why this podcast feels really good, because it means that I can like talk to someone who understands really well about ADHD, and hopefully kind of over time, as we go deeper into the podcast, we can explore ways of coping and how we manage and share, you know, tips and ideas and techniques of managing our mental well-being.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like you, I've always been interested in mental health, and like as finding out I had ADHD later in life, it's a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Trying to also like accept yourself for all of the flaws that you'd um, labeled yourself with just because you're not normal.
Yeah.
Or you know, you find it hard in different areas of life, and being able to forgive yourself
Yeah.
for that, and like meeting people like yourself and being able to have these open chats and being able to, you know, make mistakes, go off on tangents, have a blank mind sometimes, like, and that's all okay. And to combine that with fashion and style, it's like two really important areas of my life, and something I think is really, really important to to share the knowledge, also share the questions. Like we're all in this together. We're all in like finding out about ourselves. Like this is something that's an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
You know, we all evolve, we all change, we all, you know, meet different people, we all have different conversations. But to have those conversations out loud, so then other people can join, other people can resonate, other people can also ask more questions. I think it's really, really important. So as well, like I'm really, really grateful that we started doing this.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be a really, really great space, a great platform for us to have all of these conversations and actually delve into things.
And hopefully inspire and support other people who may be facing the same issues. Because there was times for me, you know, after my ADHD diagnosis, I went through the ADHD diagnosis and I went through the grief, first of all, for my younger self who didn't know, who didn't get the support. And then I had like a lot of life stuff happen on top of that kind of sent me into this downward spiral where I just felt like I was never going to be able to make a success of my life. And I just felt like my life was a mess and I was an absolute failure. So it's being able to kind of demonstrate to people that, you know, maybe I've been in that dark place or that difficult space, and yet I'm coming through, and I've found ways of coping, and I've found ways of managing, and I've found things that do help. I'm never going to not have ADHD. There was times when I thought maybe I could cure this if I get the right combination. And now I'm like, no, I can't cure this. This is who I am. This is how I am. However, I can still be successful. I can still be this crazy, you know, hypomanic person sometimes. And I can still have times when I'm really low. But I can still make my life work.
It's accepting yourself in with everything.
Yeah.
All the, you know, all the manic periods and all the depressive periods.
Yeah.
It's all part of it. It's all part of us, and it's all part of who we are and what makes us.
Yeah.
And being able to accept all those areas and, you know, openly talk about them as well, and the struggles, but also the celebrations behind everything. I think is yeah, it's a really important thing to do. And I know with ADHD, I went through the grief as well after finding out, and really noticing all of the areas that, you know, I tormented myself for, because I wasn't able to do, you know, I wasn't able to finish any exams because of time management. I, you know, would internalize a lot of things, like a lot of stimming as well, and being misunderstood, and then coming out of that and being aware of what makes me good. The
I feel like I want to
creativity.
cry.
I just feel like so much. Hey, you'll make me cry. I can have a glasses on.
I just relate so much to what she's saying. It's just, yeah, it's hard. It can be hard.
Stop, you're making me cry.
Oh, well, this has been such an interesting conversation. It's hard to know where to wrap it, I suppose, because we could go so much deeper, couldn't we?
Yeah, we could be here all night. I'm not sure if you've got enough charge on your phone for that. But yeah, that's it. Like, we're gonna have many more of these conversations, so we can actually delve into it.
Yeah,
we can celebrate things. We can have more tears if we need.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm sure there will be. But full disclosure, this is our first episode. We haven't worked out a schedule yet.
Nope.
We don't know when, how often, or anything like that yet. But it sort of feels like maybe a natural place to wrap for today.
Absolutely, yeah. Before we both start crying in each other's eyes.
But stay with us, and we will let you know in the comments below, because by the time this is released, we will have a schedule. So
exactly. Thank you so much for listening to us.
Thank you. I was just going to say, it's so ADHD to just not have a schedule yet, isn't it?
What schedule? What list? What to-do list?
Look at that. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
That was so good. Oh.